Hi, welcome to Brady's Blunders, where I show you the mistakes in my games, hoping you don't make the same ones in yours. And with today's video, I'm going to continue the theme of the last one and talk about co. In this video, the question is, should I even start one? It's my choice. Okay, so I'm playing white in this game, another relatively recent game on KGS, and you can see that black has two relatively weak groups in the center of the board, and I played to split them. And then we both made sure each other were cut off. And today's problem is a simple A or B multiple choice problem. If you were white, where would you play next? A, which could start a co, or B, which chooses not to. Go ahead and think about it if you like. Pause, and I'll be here when you get back. Okay. I played B, and let me explain my reasoning. And the reason I played B is I didn't see a reason to risk a co. All right. So by extending it B, black at this second still has two weak groups. Now my reading showed that black would actually be able to continue to connect out to this group up here, but he would do it in gote, giving me sente to attack the other group, and I get the top. So I decided that this was a good enough result for me, and I was happy with it. And indeed, the continuation went as I read. So with this move, black is connected, so one of his groups is now safe. But now I'm getting the top, and I've got sente to attack this group over here. And in terms of the blunders that I show, this is far from the worst. This isn't game deciding. The game is still good for white. So it's not the end of the world. But I wanted to explain why my reasoning was incorrect. And there's 4 reasons. But anyway, if you look at this, it's still fine, still a good game. But again, it was the reasoning that was wrong. And when I didn't play this, it's because I saw this as a risk. And let me show you the worst case scenario of the risk that I was looking at. So black starts a co. Say I go ahead and make an exchange. I capture an A, and he makes a threat, and I answer back. And then I make another threat, which he ignores. And then I make another threat, which he ignores, and gets this shape. This is sort of the nightmare shape from my perspective, which I saw in my mind's eye. And why is this so bad? Because it is bad for me. All right. Number one, black's groups are now basically connected. That's bad. And in connecting, they're basically alive. So that's bad. And also, black's going to get sente to attack this white group and make it live for just a tiny few little points. So that's bad. And then after he's done attacking this group, he's going to be able to attack this group. Probably not kill it, but again, make it live really small. And so that's bad, right? So this is the risk that I had in my mind's eye, and that's why I thought there's no reason for me to even take this risk. But there's not really any risk here, and let me explain why. 4 reasons, I think. The first is that, as I discussed in the last video, that I need to start thinking of a co-fight more as a co-trade than a co-fight. So when I look at this is what everything I just described is what black got out of the trade, and I'm totally ignoring what white got out of the trade. And of course, white's not going to get 2 little stones in an already alive corner. Instead, white's going to get up to 3 moves in a row somewhere else on the board. The moves that black ignored over here, and plus it's white's turn. So that's 3 moves in a row. So can I find a good sequence somewhere else on the board that's good enough for white? Oh, I sure think so. Let's say I get this move and then this move. I actually think black's already dead with just 2 moves in a row. I don't even need a third, right? If I come here and he tries to make a living shape, yeah, he's just dead this way, or dead this way. And there's other variations, but I think he's dead even with just 2 moves in a row. But even if it took me 3 moves in a row, it would still be pretty good, because now I've just made 40-something points in the corner. And sure, black got the bow tie shape, but he can no longer put pressure on this white group because it's huge now. He can put some pressure on this, so there's some compensation for him. But he's also, and it's true, I'm not going to make points at the top anymore, but neither is he. There's not really points to be made up here. So this would be plenty good for white. I think white would be in control. As a matter of fact, if I got 3 moves in a row, then it would be my sente, right? So this game would be really good for white. So my first mistake was, again, forgetting that a co-fight is really a co-trade, and for him to get this shape means me getting 3 moves in a row, and I can do really well with that. All right, so that's the first reason I was wrong. The second reason I'm wrong, or was wrong, is I don't even need to make those big global threats for this to be good for me, right? Say I capture here, and I'm just going to answer whatever co-threats black wants to throw at me. So he plays here, and I go ahead and connect out, and then he captures. And I can go ahead and play locally, and this is really good for white. I'm developing the part of the board that I wanted to develop anyway, which is this upper left, but more importantly, I'm putting pressure on black's other weak group. And this isn't something black can easily ignore. Say make this shape and then give me this. No, this is way too much pressure on this black group. And it'll likely die, but even if it lives, the upper left is just going to get huge for white. So this would be fantastic. So black doesn't have time to do that and needs to keep fighting the ko. But then I can just come back and capture it. And if he wants to keep fighting the ko, then I'm fine, just again playing locally and keeping the pressure on the black group and growing the upper left. So I guess what I'm saying is that nightmare scenario that I pointed can't really happen because black has to keep answering my local ko threats. So that's the second reason it's bad. So it's the presence of these local ko threats that make this a really annoying ko for black, not white. And this is why it's probably black who's going to want to avoid the ko in the first place and probably won't fight it. So black's not going to want to win the ko with a shape like this. And the reason is because it's inefficient. This stone at A isn't placed optimally. So let's go back and figure out what black probably will do or should do. And that is when I first offer the ko, black will go ahead and connect. Then I can go ahead and play here. Now if black was to play locally, it wouldn't be here, right? He would make this ugly shape, but instead would jump out faster. And this does keep black connected with the corner, right? If I try to separate, then black is actually going to kill the cutting white stones. So that's why moving out faster is better for black, and therefore this is a really inefficient shape and not one he wants. So therefore black will probably just play like this. And this way I get to say to black, ha! You made an ugly clump, and I got this really nice shape facing the outside, and I'm threatening to take a lot of points along the top. So this would be, a really good result for white and better than the game. And then the final reason I really want to play this shape is this move says to black, I'm a little bit afraid. I don't want to fight this ko. It's scary. So I'm making fun of myself, but it's actually a wimpy play. And you don't want to tell your opponent over a game of Go that you're a wimp, right? And this move shows much more fighting spirit. It says, I've looked at this and the continuation is fine with me. How have you looked at it? How do you want to respond? And actually, if black shows the same pride, it's not a good result for him. So black should go ahead and say, yeah, I'll make the ugly shape and give you the better shape. So there's 4 reasons I should make the ko. if you will. And first is that bow tie shape that I made where black connected everything. I needed to remember that those moves aren't made in isolation. I am getting moves in a row somewhere else on the board while he makes that shape. So 2, 3 moves on the board can make a huge difference. And again, I need to think of it as more of a co-trade than a co-fight. Reason 1. Reason 2 is my best moves were actually local. And as I'm playing local moves that put pressure on this group, then I'm doing 2 things that I want to do at the same time. 1 is, potentially winning a co, and 2 is putting pressure on a group I want to put pressure on anyway. So it's very easy co for me. And therefore, it's probably in black's interest to back down. And then the third reason is if black's going to back down, black should go ahead and back down to start because of the efficiency of the shape, jumping here instead of here. And then finally is because extending said to my opponent, I'm weak, I'm a little bit scared of ko and I don't want to do it. And that's the wrong message to send to your opponent. So there you go. 4 reasons I should have played ko, even though not playing the ko wasn't tragic. I still should have done it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.